This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. The Knicks may have figured it out. Let's analyze. Look, prior to last night's game against the Sixers, the Knicks washed the Nets to the score of 54 points. And by 54 points. And I'm like, whatever. The Sam Stradamus in me, I called that. And I said, we'll see. Because I was expecting the Knicks to end a 4-game losing streak against them. Then they go into Philly. And I was looking for a few things here. All right. The first 2 games against Philly, I said, you know what? Are the Philadelphia Sixers they're healthy now. You've got Embiid, in the last few games, averaging 28 points a game. You've got Paul George back. You've got the rookie phenom, VJ Eshcombe, doing his thing. And then, obviously, you've got Tyrese Maxey, who's right now, who's balling out of his mind. And in many people's eyes, he's in the conversation for possible MVP. So I'm like, all right, let's see what's going to happen here. And I felt that the first game against the Sixers, the Knicks were just coming back from the Cup, winning the Cup and playing in the West Coast. And I'm like, wow. And the Sixers were resting. So I'm like, all right, that game, it's a loss, but that doesn't matter. And then the second game, they just ran the Knicks out of the building. And I felt that the Knicks were lagging. They were exhausted. And as Derek Jeter would say, there's no excuse. If I'm in the game, I'm playing. I'm healthy. It is what it is, right? And I just wanted to see. I said, you know what? The Knicks have 2 games off. The Knicks can prep. The Knicks have payback on the mind. At least I'm watching the game. And I'm going in. I'm like, okay, let's see. Are the Sixers a team that the Knicks are going to have to be very worried about? Which I think they should be. Have a healthy respect for the Sixers. But when you watch this game, you're like, okay. And Mitchell Robinson, I think, made reference to the fact in one of those 2 games that the Knicks were just tired. And that's what it looked like. The Knicks ended up, although it was only, a 3-point win, the Knicks went up as much as 17 points. And it looked like the Knicks got back to the basics, defense. And, and we saw what happened. The Knicks out-rebounded them to the tune of, what was the final score there, rebounding-wise? 53 rebounds for the Knicks to 37 for the Sixers. And look, listen, I give that a lot of credit, to the Knicks for that. They are one of the best, maybe the best offensive total rebounding team in the NBA. So the Knicks get credit for that. But Mike Brown going into the game after the Mavericks game, I was looking to see what he was going to do to fix the slide that the Knicks were in. Now, going in, we know that the change of the calendar has not been nice to the Knicks, right? The Knicks started off 23-9, and since 3-9, 4-9 now, right? In the new calendar year, so they've been struggling a little bit. But with this win, and now they've won 2 in a row. So have they figured things out? Absolutely. Mike Brown said, I've got an idea. That's what he said at the end of the Dallas Mavericks game. I've got an idea, but I'm not going to tell you. When I heard him say, but I'm not going to say, I said, he's getting it. I said, Mikey Brown gets it. He's not going to coach through the media. Well, unless you're Karl-Anthony Towns. But he's not going to give you the ingredients to the sauce. And I'm like, thank you, Coach Brown. Thank you. And a few things I've realized he's done. He's cut the rotation down. The Knicks are basically playing 8 guys, although they played 9 last night. We had a guest appearance by one Gershon Yabusele, and he played 3 minutes. He had an assist, a rebound, and that's it. And the bench has gone down big time. I mean, Ariel Hukporti made a guest appearance. He played 4 minutes. I think he was impactful. He had two points, but he had 3 rebounds and a block. And I'm going to talk about Hukporti in a moment. But the Knicks have stopped playing a 10-man rotation, 10, 11-man rotation. Mo Diawara was a healthy scratch, coach's decision, and Tyler Kolek was a DNP. But one of the Knicks, I guess, new toys from the offseason in Jordan Clarkson did not play. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? I mean, has his defensive liabilities been an issue? Or is there something bigger at play? You already know Gershon Yabu is about to be out of here. But could the Knicks be in the process of trading not only Yabu, but also a Jordan Clarkson? Now, I did say that Jordan was a guy that he's going to be a free agent, right? So if the Knicks are going to lose him, get something for him. So I have a feeling, I have a sneaky suspicion here that he could be on his way out. And you know that Mike Brown has been a big fan of one Landry Shamet, who played 25 minutes. He had 12 points, and he had daggers in both he and Anunoby when Philly was making their run. Anunoby for 3. Next possession, Anunoby finds Shamet for 3 for the Knicks to stop the bleeding. This guy, look, this is why I've been a major fan of. I was very upset with Thomas not playing Shamet. I'm like, the guy can shoot, the guy can play defense. He did not play him against Indiana. And, and now Mike Brown sees it. So off the bench, you had 27 minutes for Mitchell Robinson, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 6 offensive rebounds. Miles Deuce McBrizzle, 26 minutes. He had 9 points. He was building a house. He was 1 for 8 from 3, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Now, look, listen. So they've gone down to an 8-man rotation, although you had guest appearances, like I said, from Yabu and Hukporti. The Knicks, a few things stand out here. He's cut the rotation, and they've gone back to the basics: physicality and defense. Maybe you were not getting that from Jordan Clarkson. Yabu, clearly, that was a bad signing. Okay, I've told you guys that I want the Knicks to get back. To get Precious Achiuwa back, because I feel that he was a guy, who won. Mike Brown, he coached on the Nigerian national team, and I feel that that's a guy who Mike Brown can get a lot out of. So I'm surprised that Mike Brown coached him in the national team, and they didn't sign him back. They got Yabu instead. That was a mistake. Ariel Hukporti is a guy who, to me, when he plays, he's very productive, right? Although he was a -3 in his guest appearance. You saw that when Karl-Anthony Towns fouled out, he played defense, he had rebounding. In the 4 minutes he played, he was very impactful in my eyes. So if the Knicks need a guy who can play power forward / center, that's the guy. And I'm surprised that the Knicks have shortened the rotation to that point where you're no longer seeing a Tyler Kolek. You're no longer seeing a Mo Diawara who is doing guest appearances. Maybe it's by design. Maybe the Knicks right now, the trade deadline is looming for February 5th. maybe they don't want Jordan Clarkson to say, wait a minute, you're not playing me, but you're playing Tyler Kolek and all this stuff. Mike Brown has clearly tightened the rotation, and it's working. Okay. With the trade deadline looming, I want the Knicks to go and get a Precious Achiuwa, but I don't know if Scott Perry is going to play ball. You know, Precious is doing very well for them, but that's a guy who I think would be in the rotation, solidly at that. I think he would be the ninth guy, you know, with Mitchell Robinson, with Shamet, and with Miles Deuce McBrizzle. Now, in losing a Jordan Clarkson, my thinking is, well, what would the Knicks do if, you know, God forbid, one of the guys, you know, Deuce McBrizzle or Shamet go out? I just think they would just use Bridges, who they've done a great job in managing the time, right? Josh Hart had 37 minutes yesterday, and Mikal Bridges was building a house. He had a horrible game, 3 for 16, and I think he was 1 for 9 for 3. I rewatched the game, and I'm like, hey, you know what? If two things, if Bridges hits more than just going 1 for 9 and building a house from 3, this wouldn't have been as close of a game. On top of that, the Knicks and their free throw shooting was awful. They missed, what was it, 12? It was awful. It was awful. The Knicks from the free throw line, they were 15 for 27. All right? They missed 12. The Knicks hit their free throws. This is not a game. This is not as close a game. And I'm not disrespecting the Sixers, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing now. They've won 2 in a row. They're going to play on Tuesday. They welcome the Sacramento Kings into MSG. And I think that's going to be 3 in a row. I really do. And hopefully Precious comes into the Garden and they can find some way to get Yabu and Pac home, pack their bags, you know, and send them out. Send them out. You know, maybe you get Precious and or the guard there. I don't know that Mike Brown liked that was on a 2-way there. But you know, maybe that's what they do. But clearly the Knicks have gone back to the basics. The Knicks are playing defense, and dare I say, they're channeling their inner Thomas. Mike Brown, say what you will, is channeling his inner Mike Thibodeau. Wow. Tom Thibodeau. But I mean, there's a little bit of Mike Brown and Thibodeau going on here. But maybe that's what's going on, and this is what's working. The guy from the Kings that crossed my mind, by the way, that was Mike Brown's guy was Keon Ellis. Maybe somehow the Knicks they would probably have to sweeten the pot, maybe give up on a Jordan Clarkson, and maybe they get a Keon Ellis and a Precious Achiuwa. Something like that. I don't know. But clearly, I mean, these are Mike Brown pieces. You fix the defense. The Knicks' problem has not been offensively. Now, I'll tell you this: as the deadline looms, another thing, the Giannis Antetokounmpo talk, he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with that calf strain. He keeps injuring his calf, y'all. That is dangerous. That is no bueno. That is not good. All right. Shout out to Roy Hebrew on that one with the no bueno. But I think for me, I think that the Knicks have to really be careful here. I don't think they're going to trade Giannis, and you already heard. Cat is here. Karl-Anthony Towns is here. He had a bad game, and Joel Embiid just takes his lunch money. I told you that before he got to the Knicks that Joel Embiid did not respect Cat. Now, Cat is going through it, but say what you will, I think he will make the All-Star team. He's a 20-10 guy. I think both he and Jalen Duren from the Detroit Pistons will make the All-Star team. The Knicks need size, by the way, especially on that All-Star team. So I think both of those guys will make it. I think Cat will eventually figure it out. I think Cat could be playing hurt. You know, he was a question mark for that game. He's having back injuries, back issues. Look, listen, as your boy, I don't know if I told you, the back pain is no joke. And a few months back, since I started with my compound movements, your boy did hurt himself. I hurt myself leg pressing and doing I was doing deadlifts, as well as I started with the squatting as well. And man, listen, I had to have an MRI, and my back was shot for a few months. I rebuilt it, started from scratch, fixed my core, and your boy's back, man. I'm back to doing my deadlifting and my squatting and core movement, man. My core strengthened my core, and no more back pain, y'all. So, Cat, the back pain can be really, really it can really cripple you if you're not careful. So I know firsthand. But listen, the Knicks have gotten back to the basics. I like what I'm seeing. Karl-Anthony Towns, I just want him to get better. I would not be surprised that he's playing through something, his back, the finger, and all of this. So Cat is our guy now. I don't think the Giannis trade is going to happen, nor do I want Giannis, especially with these injuries that he's having. I think with Giannis, and I don't wish this on him, but I think it's only a matter of time that it could be an Achilles problem if he's not careful. So the medical team over there, they're going to have to be very careful and cautious with Giannis. But I'm good. I'm good with what I'm seeing here. If the Knicks have gone back to the basics, defense, Clarkson's not going to play, Yabu's not going to play, because if you don't play defense, you don't play. Clearly a page out of Thomas Thibodeau's book. I'm with it. I like what I'm seeing. The Knicks right now, the only thing that is with their losing the 4 straight games and everything like that, the Knicks right now are 6 games behind the Pistons. They've got, 2 more against them. They've got the Boston Celtics ahead of them by a game, who've lost a game. So don't look now. The East is getting interesting. The Knicks are 3rd right now, but the Raptors have won 3 in a row. They're also a game behind the Knicks. And so the Raptors are real, as I thought they would be. And the Cavs right now have won 3 straight and are 5th. So it's getting very interesting, but the Knicks have finally figured it out. And I think they're over whatever they were dealing with. So let's go Knicks. But what say you guys? Let me know in the comments. Now it's that time. Jonathan Kuminga, a guy who many believe the Warriors had on the trading block, is out with a bone bruise, but will be reevaluated in the coming days. Let's see what happens there. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, folks. I'm on most social media platforms at Sam I Analyze. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, a tout à l'heure.